Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the Wildflower demo. This is really excited about this game because primarily it is the most volatile game we've built to date. It's built on the sort of architecture that a lot of players are used to, which is evidently Danger High Voltage and more recently Little Devil. But Wildflower is a whole new ball of wax, and I'm really excited to show you now. I think I'm just going to dive in quickly and show you a couple of spins, but just things of note in the game are the wild. So in Danger we had times 6 wilds that could appear in 3 positions on any given spin in the base game. In Wildflower we've now got times 8 wilds that can appear in 3 of the 4 central positions in the base game, which is pretty amazing considering what the potential plays can be. So the really exciting thing about it as well is the fact that the ladder comes in 2 forms. So we've got a standard ladder, which as you can see here is like times 10, times 20, times 40, times 80, which trumps the Danger High Voltage ladder by, you know, a few multiplier. But the flip side of it is when you get a mega feature, the ladder just keeps going up and up and up and up. And if you get enough re-triggers in your free spins, you can go all the way to times 800 on a single spin. And then there are noticeable differences on between the regular features and the Mega Scouts features, and I'll go into those throughout the course of the game. But let's just jump into play table very quickly and look at that. And we've got the Wolf paying a 10, and the kind of Red Riding Hood type character paying 5x, and then 2, 5 and 1.5, and then obviously down to the lower royals we've got aces paying 1.2 down to 9s paying 0.5. Obviously with these like gigantic multipliers in, they're kind of balanced out with the overall multipliers, because we've got like the 20,000. Like if you take, like, for example, a full kind of game completion in the, I'll call it the gates, so you're familiar with it. But if you take a full game completion of the gates, you've got 12 to the power 4, which is over 20,000x. So it's just insane. So if you get, if you go back to the top page there, if you get a wolf on top of that, you're talking 200,000x for a single drop down. If it goes all the way. So yeah, it's insanely volatile. And in like the testing farming we've done, the max pay was circa 120, 130,000x. But we did the same situation with Little Devil, and then we call that around 50,000. Then we had 100,000x on it. So yeah, it can go bigger, and there's no capping with our games as usual, unless your particular casino has capping rules. But we don't necessarily promote capping. Don't think it's a good thing. So yeah, moving on. The rest of the page, I'll go through the features. So full wheel wilds, we've got the icy wild, which is pretty cold because it only plays times 1. And then we've got the 8 times wild, which is pretty good if you get 2, amazing if you get 3 in a line, but you can never have 4, just so we're clear, because that would be a bit too crazy. Then we've got scatters, that everyone's used to, but like if you go like Little Devil and we think about how the Heartstopper works, and you get all the way to the top of the Heartstopper, and then you get this mega feature. Well, what we've decided to do is take the persistence out of it, so anyone having any length of session can just jump into the game and have that one spin, and that one spin can just basically be a Heartstopper, like aka mega scatter, and they can just basically flip into the game and like, woo, yeah, pretty amazing, like straight into mega scatter, and the mega scatter can deliver like some amazing like winning experiences, and that I've experienced myself in testing. It's pretty cool. So that's the mega scatter, and that can trigger 2 feature choices. So like a basic 3 scatter trigger that's all yellow moons has got the basic like gates feature. So you've got like the wildflowers, you can see them there, just the wild W, and they populate and stick in the the central four reels. And then on the flip side of that, if you get the mega scatter version of gates, then every time a new symbol lands underneath in the reels, then the multiplier goes up times 1, times 2, times 3. Hence the 12 to the power of 4, 20,000x world cluster that you can event in the completion of the game. Which is pretty good. So moving in, we've got the most beautiful thing, which is gates in its base form, and then my heart beat faster, which is high voltage. If you want to sort of take it out of danger high voltage as kind of like those two sort of taken up to another notch, which is sort of like the equivalent of gates of hell being chased through a hospital by zombies, and the zombies on fire, and the zombies have chainsaws, and the hospital's on fire. It's pretty much like, and the same can be said for heartbeats faster. Pretty good. Moving on, so we've got mega scatter enhanced free spins, you know all about them. Sorry, just follow my thread. Enhance, the most beautiful thing, is basically, as I've explained, you've got a times 1, symbol comes in behind, times 2, times 3, and enhance heart beats faster feature, which basically just goes through the roof. And you're getting up to times 800, which would sort of responses we've had from like a few people that reviewed it and looked at the game. They're thinking that the predominance of feature choice might shift to heart speed faster on this game because you've got that times 800 on a mega. But we'll see. We'll see what people like. So winning symbols, play, ways, all that, and we'll get on with some spinning. So very very excited to have another cult song following up Little Devil. It seems both off their seminal album Electric, which is like in my opinion their best album, although She Soul Sanctuary is a pretty good tune off a different album. We might be using that in a trilogy, so the cult music series, but I can't say for sure because we're still in talks, but so it's so look at triggering a mega scatter first off, jumping straight in. So the way the way the mega scatter works is basically you can have a scatter on any reel, and that's a regular trigger. But if you get a scatter on the last reel, it becomes a blood moon scatter, and that takes you into the feature choice. So I think we'll go with the most beautiful thing first. Taking a look at that. So as you can see on the top, we've got a wild 10. And another thing to remember on this is only the royals are chosen here. So you don't have a paw or a star or the Red Riding Hood character or the wolf. It's just basically 9 through to 8, which is pretty good. So as you can see, we've got the 10s in here, but if I get a 10 in the reel underneath, then basically it'll go up to times 2 and times 3 and so on. So go all the way across now. It's a really rocking soundtrack though, you gotta admit, it's pretty amazing. So we're looking for a 10 in any of those, so you've got 2, full stack there. And equally, in the same situation as Danger High Voltage and Little Devil, if you get a full stack, then you get a re-trigger. So we're 1 away from a re-trigger now. As you can see, the times 2's kicked in there. You get a re-trigger, you get a few more times 2's kicked in. It gets pretty big pretty quickly. And it goes all the way across. We're not limited like we were in Little Devil to 2 central positions going high. Like the whole, every single wild inside that 4x4 can go and multiply. Oh, no re-trigger. Still not bad. Got the wolf on the end there for very nice wolf on the end there for 192. Yeah, that's pretty good. Amazing. So that's the most beautiful thing, and that was pretty beautiful. It wasn't ugly. So skip out of that, and we'll. And then in the base, oh look at that. Wolf and a couple of 8s. So yeah, those double 8s and triple 8s, yeah, can cause some pretty astounding wins just in the base game alone. Oh, by the way, the RTP is reasonable. It's 96.59, and there's no differentiation between the whole game. So whichever feature you choose, you're sort of on the right track. The same RTP. So I'm going to trigger off another mega feature. We're going to look at Heart Beats Faster, which is pretty thrilling. I really don't know which one is my favourite out of these two. It's like they're both really, really interesting, and both can go in like crazy directions. I mean, the fact is, with Heart Beat Faster, a bit like Daisy High voltage free sprints, you're pretty much guaranteed of something fairly good. Whereas Most Beautiful Thing, it could be pretty ordinary. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what becomes the most popular over time. But let's kick into Heart Beat Faster. So as you can see, this multiplier, with enough multipliers coming to the game, every time one comes in, it basically goes up 1. So as long as it involves a win. So this might not involve a win. Oh, it did, because we've got the jacks. So now that'll come down and bring the times 100 down. So you've got this chance between times 40 and times 100. So I'll jump through again for this one. By the way, I'm using some of our in-house triggers to trigger this. This isn't sort of happening naturally, just so you know. I'm not that lucky. So yeah, I mean that's just with 9s. So some 100x off the nose. So we're now up to dizzying heights of the multiplier. Right, baseline is times 80 on any multiplier when we're going to get now. Yep, 150, 200, yes, nice, amazing. Pretty good. And that's just with jacks as well, and it's just 5 of a kind jacks. So you can imagine like 4 wolves all the way across. Yeah, pretty much got it made. Well, there's stars. Let's push it all the way to 250. 200. 4 of a kind stars. And that's for 4 of a kind. So there we go. So yeah, I'll just skip off a second, let you know a few other points. So we've got all our merch going live next week, which is this amazing t-shirt, and hats and hoodies, and yeah, loads of really good wildflower stuff. And we're launching with Chipmunks and Will next Wednesday. Is that next Wednesday? Yeah, next Wednesday. Very much looking forward to it, because they're much better at showing things off than I am. That's for sure. They're professionals. So yeah, really excited about that, and we, from all of us here at BTG, wish you the best of luck if you decide to play it. Thank you, and good night, good morning, good evening, whatever it is for you.